Hello and welcome in, everyone. My name is Dr. Jankovic. This is episode 13 of Paperhats, and in the last episode, we built this very nice gingerbread house, plus the Christmas tree, plus the amazing creeper angel. It really turned out great. I'm super proud of it, and we really had a nice time on stream. And I don't know how it could have turned out any better. I just love it. In case you're not up to speed, I do recommend going and watching my last episode so you know what this whole island is about. This is actually a mushroom island, so no mobs will spawn, but we have completely covered it in snow, and this is our Christmas district for Season 3 of Paperhats. So far, there are just a few builds. There's the community center, community tree, my gingerbread house, and the start of this build that we're going to be working on today. That is actually a community project. It's a really cool area. All the Paperhats did such a great job of covering the island. I only did a small section around over here. I ran out of time, but the other Paperhats absolutely pulled it off, covered the entire island in snow, and it looks just amazing. We even have a to-do board where we can all take part in different tasks and contribute to the war effort here. Honestly, it's going very swimmingly. There's already stuff popping up very, very fast on this island. And honestly, I'm not going to be too hurt if this project goes out until New Year's, because I usually celebrate Christmas until New Year's anyway. So I'm not going to be too worried about it if we were a little late. And this community project here is something that I will probably go back to just because it'll be so fun. Alright, so now that you're up to speed, what I'll plan to do in this episode is take one of these tasks and go ahead and help out with that. And then we are going to do a very Big Daddy build and help out with the community project. Let me show you what that is. So you saw this build a moment ago. It looks amazing. Dan the Noodle Man built it. To be honest, I'm not sure if he had help or not. I don't believe he did. But what does this look like? That is right. It is the beginning of a boat ice track. We decided to have a racetrack going all the way around the Mushroom Island over here at the Christmas District, and we've broken it into 5 different sections, and we all get to choose a section. So, my section, I have a lot of ideas for. Something I don't talk about very much is I've always really liked racing games, like Gran Turismo and all that. So, I wanted to make like a more of a technical part. So let me pull up some screenshots on the screen of me designing my portion of the track, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. So I did all of this testing in my creative testing world, naturally, and the first thing that I thought about is my portion of the track actually has to be very practical. It can't be too hard because that would just make it not fun. But I did want to give it a bit of a challenge. So I started with Lightmatica. I just took a schematic of the 2 endpoints that Dakota had laid out, and I pasted them into my creative world. From there, I created just a line of ice between the 2 points in the basic shape that I kind of wanted the track to go along. And then from there, I filled it in and made sure the curves were nice and uniform and smooth. And it, the way this track was, and you can see at this screenshot here, it is absolutely possible like this, but going around those curves, you are just moving a little too fast, and without anything to help you with that, sometimes you would kind of clip a corner and and slide really fast across the track into the other corner, and you just sort of bounce around the whole time. And honestly, I thought that was really super annoying, so I wanted to fix that. So then my next idea was to put some stops into the track. And you can see those red lines down there. Those are actually just blocks of red terracotta. Those help you slow down just a little bit, not too terribly much, but it's like putting the brake on pretty reasonably so you can kind of drift around that corner there. And then also in that screenshot, if you'll notice, is the line of blue terracotta around the entire edge of the track. Now that is probably the most important part, because when you're coming down the middle section there, the diagonal section, it's super easy to clip just a bit of one of the corners of the blocks, and then you're just bouncing back and forth like a pinball between the 2 edges, and that was also very annoying. And even in the middle of the track there, even with just one layer of the blue terracotta, it was kind of frustrating still, so I went ahead and just added a second layer of white terracotta. And I'm going to go ahead and build this into the world that we have now, and then we'll worry about the decoration and how it fits in with everybody's track. So now we're back on the Paperhats server, looking at the future plot of my section of track. Now, one thing, Kelsey has made this considerably more enjoyable to drive around my section of track by building this amazing dollar horse here. It just looks amazing. But what I wanted to talk to you about is that over there is the end of my section, and somewhere in those glaciers is the start. So my schematic will take the track this way, back diagonally, make another turn, and then meet up with that section of track. Now, one thing that we have sort of decided on as a group is we're all going to kind of put our track, sections of track down, and then we're going to figure out how best to connect them all, because some other people, they're going to have tracks that go up, go down, have different methods of transportation. So we're all just going to paste our sections of track and then go back and figure out the best way to seamlessly connect them all. So I don't have to worry about the end or start points too much right now, but in this episode we're going to go ahead and build my section of track, and if we meet up early enough you may see some of the final details being worked out, and of course we'll have to terraform it and connect it to the world in this video as well. So that is what you can look forward to. Let me go back to my creative world, get a schematic going, and we'll paste it into this world, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so I've grabbed the schematic and pasted it into the world. This track is not here yet, but this gives me an idea of what we're up for. So we've got a lot of glaciers over here, we've got some land to clear out, and I'll probably just take those small glaciers down. So that is a good idea of how much work I had ahead of me. And one thing that I had to do is I had to move the start point up about 10 blocks. That is because the way that the track was pasted there, it actually went through the back leg of the dollar horse. So I just moved it up 10 blocks. I'm sure the Paperhats will be fine with that. And if I go ahead and build this and then turns out they're not fine with it, it's not going to be hard just to move it back and maybe move that dollar horse back a little bit as well. So it's not a huge deal. We'll go ahead and paste this down, terraform this, and get the track going. But yeah, this is what it looks like so far. Oh, and I almost forgot, it is mega time-lapse time now. This ice boat track turned out absolutely amazing. It looks so awesome. Now, things moved just a little bit quicker than I wanted them to, but that's okay. What I wanted to do was actually just make the track functional so we could all meet up and figure out how we were going to connect these things. But as you can see, some people made some lifts, and on the other end is just a curve. So nobody really had any trouble connecting up to anybody's parts of the track. So that was all done and dusted. So I figured I'd just go ahead and decorate it. So I went with a really simple design, and I'll show you. I just created these giant iron arches and connected a string to them. Now, the original plan was to put some greenery around it, put some ornaments, and kind of make a garland all along the track here, but I did run out of time, and I figured the green string there was pretty much all that you need for Christmas, so it looks amazing, and honestly, I wouldn't change it a bit. I think it's perfect the way it is, this section. And you see, things have really progressed a lot faster than you realize. We've actually already had our community day done a race, actually a few races, and it was an absolute blast. Let me show you that. I really hope you like that little replay of the race there. Now, it wasn't the whole race, obviously. The chunks were a little messed up because we got so spread out. It was a 3-lap race. So it went on for a while. We just got so spread out that some of the chunks were kind of wonky. So I decided just to stick close to me after everybody sort of got spread out and make a nice little fun video. I had a lot of fun editing that. So again, I hope you liked it. I realize this episode is getting just a bit long, so I figured I would take a full lap around this track so you can see what everybody's been working on for the past couple weeks. Everybody did such a great job. It would be a shame just to gloss over everybody else's work and really focus on mine. So we're going to take a full lap around it. I'm going to show you first person what it looks like, and it's going to be super fun. So this first part here, one thing to note is Dan created this one. He made these jump pads here where you can jump through that hoop and then slide all over this ice, which, amazing job to him. That is a tremendous amount of work to do for a section of the track, and it just looks awesome. I like practicing these turns, and I'm doing really bad because I'm talking to myself while doing this. But yeah, I haven't done the shortcut yet. Honestly, I think I'd be pretty bad at it. I like doing these turns. I like racing. So, but yeah, super cool. I never would have thought to do that, to be honest with you. Coming into this next section here, this one was done by Glitch. It's similar to Dan's. It's got a lot of nice turns. Really fun if I could actually... if I could actually do this properly. I keep bumping into the sides. Alright, then you sort of get to this little transition here where you've got to get off your boat, jump into the water here, swim under this polar bear, and then go down into this tunnel. You can get some insulation, which is just leather armor, but I like to just run through it. It doesn't really hurt you much. If you do, you take like a heart of damage. Nothing really too serious. All right, then we run through this ice valley here, climb up the vines. Run through a little bit of a snow peppermint cave, and then you're good to get back on your boat here. All right, and then this next section was done by yours truly. You can see all the decorations in first person now, and you can see I'm a little bit better at this section because I have just tested it out so many times to make sure it was actually possible. But yeah, super straightforward. I wanted it to be a high-speed part of the track with just a couple of turns, and I think I achieved this. This next section here was done by Mr. Gold. Peppermint Valley, as I like to call it. Super creative. It's pretty straightforward. Got a few turns here, and then you run into these vines here, and then this next section is done by none other than Super. Of course, you need a Riptide Trident for this to get on over to this side here, which you can run to your boat again. Well, it's taking a little bit longer than I remember. Here we are. You can grab your boat out of this dropper here and get back onto the race. And then here we are, back at the finish. Not too bad of a lap. It's about 3.5 minutes or so, but it's super fun, and honestly, I can't believe it was done as fast as it was. It only took us 2 weeks to put all of our sections of track together and get it all connected up and decorated. That is super fast in my book. I mean, just 2 weeks and accomplished all of this. But unfortunately, that is all the time I have left for this video. I really hope you liked our little boat track here. We had a whole lot of fun making it, a whole lot of fun using it. And the Christmas district probably isn't over yet. I think some other people have a few more decorations to put down. We're kind of keeping it open officially until New Year's. Of course, we don't care if anybody works on it after that, just to finish it up. But seriously, a few weeks work and this island has turned out great so far. It is so impressive what people have done on this server. So I'm going to quit rambling on. Guys, please do hit the like button. It really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you are not subscribed just yet, I do encourage you to do so you get notified every time I upload a new episode. And guys, thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. Y'all have a good day.